Hey everyone, this is Terry with Digging Through Dominoes, the podcast where we dig through the dominoes of our past, change the ones around, and make some place for a better and brighter future. As you know, or as you've seen, I have had guests the last few weeks and it has been phenomenal. I have absolutely loved it. You guys should check some of those out. These guests have ranged from parents to peers to specialists to authors, and they've been wonderful and have greatly brightened my life and my knowledge of self-awareness, all the way around. When this post, it's going to be Monday, May 8th, and I will have officially been 61 years old for one day. Where am I? I'm not home. I can only imagine what I will be doing as you watch this. I will have been in Europe for a week, and for a little over a week, and on the island of Santorini officially for, let me see here, and on the island of Santorini for 4 days. When I was younger, years before my break, I thought self-care was getting away, running, just staying alive. It's not. When my mindset turned, when everything changed, when I started to heal the wounds in my heart and see things for what they actually were and what they were not, I realized that wasn't self-care at all. I was numbing. I was distracting myself from the emotional pain that I had felt for years. And in actuality, it started when I was a baby. What self-care really is what I'm doing right now and what I've been practicing for the last several years. Historically, my birthdays have sucked. When my kids were home, there were a few of them that really made my birthdays very, very special. I was not a celebrated child, but these kids, they made things special. There were balloons, there were streamers, there were parties. The same thing I would do for them. I would make them a cake. I would make their favorite meal. There would be balloons. We would just have this huge celebration. Well, all of those for me stopped when my kids moved out. And last year's was so, being 60 years old, and some of it was selfish, and I think some of it was being very self-aware, that my expectations, they probably weren't the reality. And if I wanted to take care of myself, I needed to do it myself. So I decided last year on my 60th birthday that for every birthday forward, I will be traveling out of the country. So my first trip I scheduled to London, Athens, and Santorini with a friend of mine, Lindsay, and she's going to be here actually today, which I am filming Monday, May 1st. I have to check that out there. So I'm waiting for her arrival. If you're watching me, or if you follow me on Facebook or Instagram or anything like that, you're going to be seeing the pictures as we go. I'm going to be doing I can't even speak, Terry. YouTube shorts as we go as well, because I want to share this experience. It's so strange to me to be able to see it in a different light. I'm not running to or from anything. I'm taking care of myself. I'm experiencing something that is going to make me happy. I'm going to celebrate me and my friendship with my girlfriend, Lindsay. And I am really, really, really looking forward to all of that. And that's a big step. I haven't been, my last big trip abroad didn't go so well, and that's because I was running, and I ignored every red flag there was and ended up in a really terrible situation that maybe sometime I'll tell you about, but it's something I really don't care to relive, although I would like to go back to that country at some point in time. But this time, it's packing. It's been not spur of the moment. It's been savoring that expectation, waiting to go, taking care of myself, making sure I had the right things to have fun. And I really sort of started this journey with solo travel. I was going to do it 2021, but things happened that year and I couldn't do my 16,000-mile motorcycle ride like I had planned. I had to bow out of that. And so I don't want to do that again. So what I did last year, I went to Washington, D.C. to attend my uncle's memorial service at Arlington National Cemetery. And I sort of bookend that service, which was amazing in itself to see that part of my family that I have not seen in years. So wonderful seeing them. They're just incredible, incredible people. It's my dad's brother and his family. I bookend the service with days by myself. I explored Washington, D.C., and it was the first time I had been in a city and cried tears of joy for being there. I love history. I love it. And I cannot wait to go back and explore it further, get into it a little more. As soon as I got back from there, I had scheduled a trip to Leavenworth, Washington, which is one of the top Christmas village little towns in the country. And I was there by myself for a few days. I wish I had taken Karma with me. But this whole thing of self-care, I think a lot of people have a misconception that self-care is just totally pampering yourself, which it can be if it's for the right reasons. And if it's not for escaping something that you have not figured out. I get my nails and a pedicure done every 2 weeks. That's self-care. I have some human communication. Starting this podcast is self-care. My photography is self-care. And it's all done with an awareness of filling the holes and doing something that makes me happy versus doing something out of fear, out of being overwhelmed, out of being just downtrodden and escaping. Hope that sort of makes sense. Before I did it, like I said, for all the wrong reasons. And now I'm looking forward to every birthday I have coming up, visiting a new place that I want on my bucket list. Lindsay has said she'll be my travel partner. I have booked a cruise around Christmas time, which is another time that's been sort of historically difficult for me. So these historically difficult times in my life, or periods of time, I'm getting out and I'm doing something, and I'm not going to let the flashbacks or the somatic memories of those events take away my joy and send me into a spiral. That happened to me earlier this year, and it took me about a month to get out of it, and it was pretty severe. It was pretty severe, and I haven't had one like that probably in 5 years, maybe, or more. And that was a wake-up call to me that I need to be very vigilant with knowing my body, knowing the times of year that I tend to have a more difficult time, and I need to plan something that I'm going to enjoy. I mean, it doesn't have to be a trip across the country or a trip across the globe. It could be scheduling 3 or 4 days down on the beach. In November, I bought tickets for what is probably going to be Rod Stewart's last tour. I saw it advertised on Facebook, and I looked just to see if there were good seats available, and there were a couple of good seats available in the middle section, in the middle of the very front section. So I got 2 tickets, and my daughter's going to go with me. So we're going to jet out of here to Las Vegas in November. Then I've been taking some trips every year with my son for photography. We've been doing a lot of road trips. We met his birth sisters, and out of that came just lovely, wonderful relationships that have done nothing but enrich my life. And I think that's the biggest difference between the way I thought I was taking care of myself before and the way I'm taking care of myself now. The way I did it before drained my life. The way I'm trying to do it now is enriching my life. It's making me smile and not taking a sigh of relief. I hope that kind of makes sense. So I want to keep this pretty brief, let you know why there's not an episode up this week, a full episode with a full-on guest, which, man, I've got some awesome guests that I'm talking to that I really hope come on the podcast, because I think you're going to love them as much as I do. So that's where I'll be. I don't know what the heck I'm going to be doing, but as you're watching this podcast, it's May 8th. I'm on the beautiful Greek island of Santorini with my friend Lindsay, and we're both doing some magnificent self-care. I encourage you to do the same, although don't run. Enjoy, soak in, relax, recharge, so you can come back and get back into the grind of things and look forward to the next time you get away, even if it's downtown, even whatever your hobby is. Do it. I encourage you, do it, but do it with all the right reasons. Thanks everyone for this very short little listen in that you have. And I will see you when I get